Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at what would have been a budget gaming experience roughly from the year 2000, maybe just a little bit later. Now this will be a two-part video. In this part I'll go through the build log and show you everything that I put into the build, and in the second part I'll go through the software and the games that it's able to play. Now you may notice in some parts of the build I don't have any hair. That's because it's taken me nearly 8 months to finish this. The computer's been built for a long time, but I just haven't had too much drive for YouTube or for the channel or retro in general. But now I'm starting to get back into it again. Been watching everyone else's videos and getting the itch to get my own videos up again and get back to tinkering with the retro systems. So thanks to everyone who's subscribed in the meantime, even though I haven't been releasing any content, and thank you to everyone else who hasn't unsubscribed, but hopefully there'll be more to come in the future, so stick around. Anyway, let's get on with this build. So here is the case that I picked up from Facebook Marketplace, only costing £5 in total, which is always a bargain. I'm always going to pick that up. There's a little bit of damage to it, especially on the top, but nothing that a bit of polish can't sort out. The most important part is all the plastics are in good condition. There's no cracks anywhere. Now when I picked the case up, which was quite a while ago now, I did run a poll on Twitter, I believe, asking what sort of build I should put into this case, and I'm not quite sure what one, but there was a lot of comments saying that a budget build would be what they would put into this case, and that's the kind of idea I had already, so that's what I'm going to go ahead with and do. Now I've taken the side panel off, which is actually one of those full wraparound covers which we used to have on the old style cases, which I quite like. We can see that this case may have been stored outside because there is some nature still left inside of it, but I'll be giving it a good clean, so that doesn't matter. There is a floppy drive and also a CD drive present, although they're probably going to need a good clean before I even try and see if they work. For this build I might just stick with my own ones, but we'll see. So let's get this case cleaned up and then we can take a look at the other parts that will be going into the build. So this is the motherboard and CPU I've chosen to go with. The motherboard is it's made by Mercury. It's a KOB PLE133 TFSMX, which is a bit of a mouthful, but obviously I was going for a more of a budget orientated system, and I do tend to feel that boards without AGP do fit in that category. But this board, interestingly enough, does still have an ISA slot, which could be handy for adding DOS sound cards to it, but it also seems to support Tualatin CPUs, which means it can use all of the Socket 370 CPUs, including the fastest ones possible. So we'll have to try that out at some point. But for now, sticking with the budget theme, I've got a Celeron 700 megahertz in there and just 128 megs of RAM, which should be a good fit for the kind of build that I'm going with. I'm going to stick with the integrated graphics. I'm not actually sure what they are yet. We'll find that out once I've started it up and have to hunt for the drivers. But all in all, I think this is quite a nice board. And as a bonus, I don't have it on display here, but I do have the backplate, which if you've watched my channel before, you know I do like to have the backplates on my builds. As for the power supply, I've got this FSP unit. I managed to pick up 4 of these in a big box of parts, and I went through all 4 of them and tested them, and amazingly all 4 of them all still worked, even though they are very old now. But they're very handy to have for retro builds because of the juicy 5-volt rail, 27 amps. So that's quite a nice power supply to have, and I'll be using this one for this build. Storage wise, I will be sticking with hard drives. I haven't had a lot of luck with flash drives in my retro system, so I've had more luck sticking with proper hard drives. I managed to pick these 2 up. I think it's just £5. Nobody else bid on them, and they're supposedly tested and working. I haven't tested them myself yet, but they were posted. They were packaged really well for postage, so I'll be using one of these for the build. Not sure which one yet. So I've opened up the floppy drive, and as I suspected, it is absolutely filthy in there, including some nature has made its way into the floppy drive. But I can't see anything obviously wrong with it, so I'll give it a good clean and I'll see if it does work. Likewise, I've popped the cover off of the CD drive as well, and inside it actually looks very clean in here. I haven't seen the top side of it, but from the bottom side, I've no reason to believe why I wouldn't be clean in there. Doesn't seem to be any water damage on any of the boards. So hopefully this might work. So that was the whole build process. It actually went really smoothly, especially for what I feel was mostly budget parts. And as for operating system, I don't imagine too many people would have picked Windows ME like I have, but it was the year 2000 and this was a budget machine, so there would have been plenty of PCs that did go out with Windows ME, and that's just going to be part of this challenge, I guess, for part 2 when I try out different games, perhaps some software as well, see what sort of performance we would have got from our budget machine and what sort of games we would have been able to play. Anyway, if you have got this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and perhaps even leave a comment down below with what operating system you'd have gone with. Perhaps 98 SE. I don't think this would have been strong enough for Windows XP, but I don't think many other people also would have chose Windows ME. Anyway, hopefully you'll come back for part 2 where we'll show some gameplay and also do some performance tests on it. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.